And we're good. Yep.
Hi everyone. Welcome to day 4 of our Earth Day week. And today we're going to be showing you a little activity that you can do that also helps out the animals. So over 1 billion birds die from bird strikes every single year. And if you don't know what that means, we kind of are right here. So this is a window and birds fly in the windows all the time. Now if you think about if you were visualizing yourself as a bird and you're flying around, you usually can't see the window there. We as humans can kind of tell there's glass there, but birds cannot see windows. Sometimes they see their own reflection in the window, sometimes they might see flowers and plants and that reflection in the window, or they actually might think it's a different bird and they're trying to attack that bird. So they fly pretty hard into windows, and so since we have tall buildings, we've been building more buildings with a lot more glass windows because it's beautiful, then we kind of just need to do our part to help out the birds as well. So today's activity is actually making what's behind me, and I have my little birds on a wire activity here that we made, and it's a little bit like a stained glass bird. And so there's a few different ways that you can do it, but of course this is our beautiful bird aviary behind us. That's where Stu lives. We had Stu, Ms. Mackenzie did the program with Stu the other day, and we've got Romeo up there, we've got Rango running around, we've got Lloyd over here pecking at some food. So I'll be showing you how to make these birds. I don't know what he's doing, he's being silly.
I just switched the camera to my own face. It was really funny for about half a second.
So this should be using paper, just stuff you have lying around the house. It's really simple, but it turns out looking really beautiful. So step 1 is to gather your supplies. You'll need, it says black paper, you can use white paper as long as you have a dark marker. You'll need some scrap paper that we're going to be drawing on, and some scissors, some tissue paper, and either glue stick or some tape. Now, if you are using an X-Acto knife, which is this one right here, I would suggest that you get a parent or you get an adult to help you so they can handle that knife. They are very, very sharp, and I don't want anybody getting hurt with little fingers. You can use scissors as well, but you might need help with those. Now, step 2, I'll just replace this right here. Step 2 is actually drawing an outline on scrap paper. And I have one done right here that I did with my marker. And it can be really intricate like this. It can be really simple. I actually have one right here that's just a really simple outline of a bird. If you just wanted to outline it like that, that's the simplest way to do it. So we're just going to be creating an outline of maybe that's a blue jay, or maybe that's a, I don't know, a robin or something. Whatever you want to draw. So step 3 is to cut around the outside and the inside of the lines you just drew. You can put your black paper underneath your white paper, and you can take your knife. Now I have a piece of really thick wood right here, kind of like a cutting board. Make sure you're allowed to cut on it, so that way when you cut on the paper, it's going to cut through the paper, and you don't want to destroy Mom's dining room table if you do that. So make sure you have something underneath so you can cut through it, and it makes it easier to cut. So you'll cut all the way around the outside of these lines, basically right next to all of these lines here, these lines here inside, all of them. All the white should be cut out. Ta-da! It ends up kind of looking like this. So if you
That was
can
magic.
see through, I know, it was magic. I cut through all of them already. You can kind of see how it's cut through a little bit. And you'll want to be really gentle, making sure you can take out, let's see if I can pop him out real quick. Just pop out the places the knife didn't quite get. And you'll end up with an outline of a bird. So here's my outline. If you cut all the way through with your paper, you should be able to pop out all of these pieces too. And he's slowly coming to life. You see that?
Glowing.
Now, like I said, it can be as intricate as you want. You don't have to cut out all of these things if you don't want to. It does take a little bit of time and patience. So if you just wanted to cut out maybe one little wing or maybe just one little line to show some detail, that's a good way to do it too. So once you have him all the way cut out where you want it to be, that's step 4. It'll end up looking like this. Here it is cut out. And this one was actually on a piece of white paper. I just put black marker on it. You can see it's kind of white. Yeah, so if you don't have black marker, it looks the same. You can just put, I just put Sharpie all over the white. So step 5 is going to be taking your tissue paper, and I have mine all cut up into little pieces already. Whatever colors you have, whatever sizes, they can be scraps. And here is where you need your glue stick. So you take your glue stick, you take the back side of your bird, whichever way you want, and you can put glue all over the black part, the outline, and just start putting the tissue paper down so it sticks onto the glue. It doesn't really matter the pattern. It looks pretty cool no matter how you do it, and it doesn't matter if it sticks up around here, because we'll cut that off. So I went ahead and used 4 different colors, but you can see when you turn it over, you can see the little pattern it starts making. And you can take your scissors and you can cut right along the edge here and cut out all of the parts that don't fit on your bird. And then you're all done. Ends up looking like this guy here. Now we have a laminator, so I laminated mine. That's why it's kind of glossy. It stays together a little better, but that's what the back looks like. It's not pretty on the other side. It's only pretty on the front. But then you can take some tape or some glue and you can put it on the wire or right on the window so that when birds are flying, they actually see that there's something on the window and they might not fly into it anymore. Now when you're deciding which window you should go after, you can go outside, you can kind of visualize if you were a bird and you were flying nearby. If you have a bird feeder hanging in the tree, chances are that's where the bird's going to want to go because the food is there. But also if you just have a big, huge window, that might be a good one to put some of these on. And you might want to place them all around the window so the bird can actually see something's there. You can also use a bar of soap, as long as you ask your mom first. If you use a bar of soap, you can draw all over the window and it makes it a little bit frosty so that the birds don't see their own reflection. They actually see that it's not, or that there's gloss there instead of a window there. There's, you can use masking tape or paint, tempera paint. If you put tape kind of where I have these black lines and then you put tempera paint on the inside, once it dries, you can pull off the paint and it creates little geometric shapes. So you can do that instead of making these birds if you just have paint and tape at home. And so since we're creating all of these buildings, we need to kind of do our part, since it's Earth Day, Earth Week, to be helping out the animals as well. We're animals, they're animals, and so if we are the ones creating something new, we need to do our part to help them out too. So these can be anywhere from 2 to 4 inches apart to, across the whole window. I just have these lines here to take up more space so that our birds, when they are in here, they have mesh on the outsides and they can grab onto the mesh. But when they fly this way, they might see tons of light in here, maybe they see people walking around, and we don't want them getting hurt or bumping their heads on the window. So that's today's craft, and continue watching us for the rest of our Earth Day activities. We should have some more posted this week, as well as Earth Day is actually on Wednesday. So I hope you enjoy, and if you do post any of these on your window, go ahead and post them on our Facebook so we can see what they turn out like. We'd love to see them. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.